Alright, today we're down to the last system out of the 4 that we're switching out, and although this system is currently in a black case, it's not as good a quality. This is a budget case that I'm putting it into, but if there had to be anything underneath a budget case, I would say this is it. I bought it at a local computer shop. It was probably about a $30 case. It did come with a power supply. It said it was rated at, I think, 400 watts, but it didn't weigh anything. It was like a feather, and I put it in some system that wasn't very important a while back, the power supply anyway, and I put one of the Fortron Source 235 watt power supplies in this case when I built a LAN rig out of it. And this one right now has that's an old beige 36 speed CD-ROM drive, and I took it outside, the bezel part and everything. I disassembled the buttons and all, and spray painted it black. And it's kind of a flat black. It's not a shiny glossy black. That's why it doesn't match the case very well. And the same thing with the floppy drive. They look more like kind of a grayish tone, or looks like a primer. But this case is just not as nice. I don't think it even looks as good on the front. I don't know how well this video is picking up its features, but the little beveled slot covers, they're not too attractive, and of course the old CD-ROM drive and stuff, I couldn't get the volume dial painted, so it's still white or beige, and wouldn't want to paint it anyway because it would probably come off at a, being a point that fingers are on a lot, even though I did paint the buttons and they seem to have been lasting. But we've got a 48 speed generic CD-ROM drive that we're going to put back in this other case when we switch all this out. This isn't a light-on. I had 2 other that were actually light-ons made by Compaq up there. The front faceplate was slightly different than the other 3, but since this one matches the other 3 as far as having the volume control and the input for an earphone to listen to CDs and all, I wanted to use it. Plus, its eject button matches just a little better. The newer model light-ons that have a Compaq branding, their button is like a kind of an oval almost, and it doesn't match the other ones as well. And they don't have the volume control and the headphone jack up front. The only main difference you would notice if you had this beside the other 3 systems is the access light is a small square instead of a rectangular, but it is green just like the other 3, and the other 2 light-ons that have a Compaq branding have an amber light. So I think this one will match better, even though it's not the same casing, same type of drive or anything like that. I think it'll work out better. I just didn't have enough to switch all 4 of them out as far as these drives are concerned. The other 2 Compaqs I'll use in 2 other systems that are like Celeron systems or something that I'm going to be switching out here pretty soon. But anyway, we're going to put it all in this case, get it updated, slightly higher quality case, match the other 3, and we'll come back a couple of times during the process and just show you the guts removed from this one and put into this one, and then we'll show it working just like we did the other 3. Okay, here's the inside of the last case we're swapping out. All the same parts again. Got the Sound Blaster Live and the same wireless card, same video card, similar processor, and a couple sticks of RAM. We're going to be using the same power supply and all these parts, of course. And we'll be switching out the CD-ROM drive, putting the generic black CD-ROM drive in that case right there when we switch out, and taking out the hard drive also. I want to do the same thing with this one that I've done with the 3rd system. I'm going to get rid of this hard drive. I'm just going to copy the data off of it and put it onto a 10 gigabyte Maxter that I have upstairs, and get rid. I mean, you can see this is a pretty crazy hard drive. It's a 5 1/4 inch, but it's only about as thick as a 3 1/2 inch regular floppy drive or 3 1/2 inch desktop hard drive. That's about how thick it is, but it's just got a huge footprint, and they call it the Bigfoot. It's a quantum Bigfoot. Works really good. It's not too loud, but I just don't like it, and I want to go back to a 3 1/2 in this system, and this is only an 8 gigabyte drive. So we're going to swap that out and
get rid of that 3.5 inch floppy. We won't have a floppy in the system until I get black ones for all those systems, if I even go back to them. I may not even put them in these systems because I know they're getting old, and I've got, you know, I've got one laying around. If I need to do any kind of diagnosis, I can just plug up to the main board, to the floppy connection there. If I ever need to, just pop the side panel off, hook it up for diagnostics and stuff.
Just wanted to show you real quick on the back of this old El Cheapo case that I'm taking the parts out of. This is the hold down or retention mechanism that holds all your option cards down, and it's just horrible. I wish I'd never bought that case. I didn't know this is the way it was. It looks just like what's on the case I'm changing it into. If you take a look, at first glance it looks like the same type of mechanism, but if you look below, you can see that there are screw holes that are on the outside of this little piece that you put on after your option cards are all in place and tightened down. And the screws that tighten the option cards down, they just stick out through the bottom of this little box. Well, on this one here, it's not like that at all. If you can see right here, that's the top tab of your option card. And if you can see, I'm moving it out and back. That's my AGP card. The only thing holding it in is this little box. You put it down against it and tighten in these screws, and if you just want to move one card around or swap out an option card, every one of your cards becomes loose. If you see on that wireless card there, all these are not even mounted. It's like they can move around if they're not good and tight. Option cards moving around there, and this one moves out and back. It's just a horrible design. I hate it. And if I rebuild one of those Celeron systems in his case, I may very well just drill out some holes in there, tap my own holes. Okay, this is the final PC that we're switching cases on. We've got it gutted out, left the old floppy and CD-ROM drive in there. Everything else has been taken out. We're going to reuse, of course, the motherboard, the video card, the wireless card, the Sound Blaster sound card, and the power supply. And we're putting in a black CD-ROM drive to take the place of the old beige one that had been spray painted, actually. Putting it all in one of these cases again. And here's the old hard drive. We're actually going to switch this out. We're going to do a duplication on it, copy the image off of the partition on this hard drive to another Maxter 10 gig hard drive I have upstairs. Just wanted to show you this because this is a very strange form factor. Very thin. It's actually thinner than a 3.5 inch drive. I told you it was about the same thickness, but it's actually thinner. And the size of a CD-ROM drive or something, 5 1/4 inch. Very quiet drive, but very strange drive. And it's an older one. It came out of a compact computer because it has a compact spare number on a sticker on there. But we'll just keep it as a backup. And I've got the sticker on there saying that it's a backup for the blue LAN rig. I've got these LAN rigs color-coded for parts and stuff. Okay, we got the final PC put together in a new case, and everything went pretty smoothly. What we're going to do, I've got a ribbon cable here that's just disconnected right now. It's going to eventually go up to the CD-ROM drive up here, but right now I got it on the secondary channel, IDE 2, and hard drive's hooked up and everything. But this is, like I said, one of the Maxter 10 gigabytes that I'm putting in this system. We're going to hook up this Quantum Bigfoot and hook it up to this secondary IDE channel and transfer all the data off of this. You know, just basically do an image of this partition, swap it over to the other Maxter drive, and just put this Bigfoot up as a backup for this system. And next thing you'll see is me doing the transfer of all that, and hopefully the system will run fine after that.